Welcome back to Pick Bricks. This video is going to focus on a couple of the Jedi in my collection. I'll start out first with my Anakin figure. This guy is from Yonak Toys, or Jonak. I've heard both. This figure is completely UV printed on official Lego parts. The face that it comes with is the double-sided Revenge of the Sith head. This is supposed to be Anakin's Season 1 appearance from the Clone Wars. This is an alternate color from Yonak. The main one, which I believe was just restocked on the site, is the correct navy blue color from the Clone Wars. But I think that this gray is a much more mature look for Anakin, and I much prefer it. I'm really glad that I was able to pick this up when it first released. I'd like to show off some of the details. As you can see on his boots, he has some grid design going on. The chest plate turned out really nice, and the red on the torso and the hips matched the official Lego red very well. What's also nice to see is the arm printing on both arms is different. He has a brown glove on this side and then a black glove with the gauntlet arm printing on the side for his robotic arm. This side also has the Jedi logo, or the Jedi symbol, on his left shoulder. I also love the printing that goes onto the hips right here that matches with the side of the legs. It's a design detail that I feel like really elevates this figure. The back also looks very clean. I really like this gunmetal printing that goes onto the chest plate right here. Pretty nice figure to have in my collection. As you'll see, a lot of these figures that I'm showing off today are Clone Wars themed. I believe actually they're all Clone Wars themed, whether it's the 2008 Clone Wars, the 3D animation one, or the 2D animation one from 2003. So speaking of the 2003 Clone Wars, I want to move on to my Obi-Wan Kenobi figure. He's featured in the Jousting Speeder episode with Dirge, and I think me, just like a lot of other people, are big fans of this design. I've seen this design done by many different custom minifigure manufacturers. This one I got from LSW, or Lego Star Wars Custom Shop. They're a French decaler shop. They just recently got into UV printing, and I did a review on their brand in my most recent video. So if you want to learn more about that, go ahead and check it out. I really love this torso design. I'll go ahead and take this away. It's really nice. It comes over pretty clean onto the hips. And I did carve out the hips on this figure, as you can see, in order to avoid rubbing with the decal on the legs. Just like Anakin, he has the Jedi symbol on his left arm. In the show, Obi-Wan still has his long hair from episode 2, so I went ahead and took the Obi-Wan Kenobi series minifigure and I took the head and the hair from that one. I think this matches his mullet in episode 2 much better than the long hair that they put on episode 2 figures. You can see he has wrinkles around the eyes, which is a small complaint, and his beard is less neat. I can always replace the head, so not really a big deal. But as you can see, I also added a cloak to him. This cape is official, but the hood, and the hood is from Capes for Minifigs. They're a really great go-to if you just want cheap fabric pieces for your figures. It matches the stiffer paper quality of official Lego capes. I think my favorite Jedi designs are when they're wearing armor. I've always been a big fan of Jedi in armor, so this figure is a favorite in my collection right now. Here's the back as well. Unfortunately, while I was decaling, you can see I made a small scratch right here. What's nice is it's on the back, so it doesn't really get shown. And I decaled this figure, of course. Next, I'll jump back into the 2008 series. This is Mace Windu from his tank set appearance. It's very simple, it's completely official. I love his Clone Wars appearance where he has these clone gauntlets on his arms. In the future, I do hope to get a more unique and interesting design for Mace Windu, but for right now, this is the only figure I have. He's pretty nice. You can get him pretty cheap for about like $4 to $8 on Bricklink, so I'd recommend it if you don't have a Mace Windu figure. Fortunately, he just has this one angry expression, which works fine, but I would like to have a more neutral expression for him. I really like the leg armor, and I really like the arm gauntlets. Pretty simple. Moving on to Mace Windu's apprentice, this is Sora Bulq. He's a very interesting character that gets overlooked a lot. He's a Weequay Jedi. I'd recommend looking into this guy's history. He's known as one of the best duelists in the Jedi Order. He was trained in the same Jedi arts as Mace Windu. In Legends, he ends up converting to the dark side and joins Count Dooku as one of his dark disciples. In canon, he only ever shows up in episode 2 where he was introduced in the Geonosis arena, and during a couple scenes in the Clone Wars where he's seen in the background. This is based on his Clone Wars appearance, and you can tell because he has the gauntlets. This figure is completely UV printed. It's from Weber Bricks from their most recent drop. They dropped a couple really unique Jedi, and they're worth checking out. I'm not sure if this guy's still in stock, but I'd love to see other custom manufacturers tackle this guy as well. On the back, you can see he has printed braids. A lot of Weequay have braids. On official LEGO minifigures, they're printed just the same, where it's printed on the back of the head and continues onto the torso. I really wish there was a better way to showcase his braids and his hair on the back, just because I'd like to be able to switch out the torso and body for another one. But unfortunately, because the hair is printed on the torso, I don't know if I would do that. I can't blame Weber Bricks because there really aren't any good alternatives to this. I'd like to see maybe a fabric piece created for his hair, and maybe that's something I can try to do myself. I'm interested in maybe gluing some starched fabric onto the back of his head so I can place the head onto some different torsos. These are his Jedi robes and they're great, but I'd like to switch out his torso for his Sith robes from the comics. I think my favorite part of this figure has to be his braids. I just think the idea of a Weequay Jedi is very unique and very interesting. So coming full circle, this is Ahsoka. This is Anakin's Padawan. This is her Ahsoka Show series appearance, but in my own headcanon, this is her Clone Wars design. I replaced the smaller Ahsoka Show Leku with her Season 7 Clone Wars Leku, which is much bigger and much more accurate. I didn't switch up anything else except for adding this big poncho. As you can see, this is her Ahsoka Show body. These are all the pieces that came with the figure. And then I went ahead and added this Leku piece. I ended up getting this Ahsoka in the advent calendar, so I got it for pretty cheap, and that was really nice. Her Ahsoka appearance is my favorite outfit that she's ever worn. I really like how fashionable it is and how detailed it is. I feel like some of the Clone Wars designs were a little too simple and flat for my taste, so I really like using this one. And I love the Shinobi Japanese influence. I really love the arms here. She also comes with a double-sided head. You have an aggressive expression on the back, and she's smiling on the front. This is a pretty simple video. Usually I do unboxings and reviews and stuff like that when I get stuff in, but I have a lot of figures like these that are just kind of sitting around in my collection that I'd really love to continue to show off. If you enjoyed this, you can check out any of these videos here or the video I've linked in the description below. I also post lots more LEGO Star Wars content on my Instagram, so go ahead and check that out. Anyways, this has been Picked Bricks. Thank you for watching, and stay cool.